looks at me and smiles and says, I'm going to give you guys a chance. I'm actually 2.5 years clean myself. This is a guy that they have millions of dollars of properties in Fairmount. So I got a nice apartment with a rooftop views looking at the city in Fairmount, just because I was doing the next right thing and somebody gave me a chance. You always get a chance and you always have the right to choose what you're going to do with it. There's always a right way and a wrong way to do anything. You will always be tested one way or another, like he said. There's always a test. And when he was laughing on the phone, like a crazy man, I've done that too. And you will be tested through life, regardless of what's going on. I've had a lot of bad things happen when I've been sober. I lost a lot of people close to me. I lost the closest person to me, who I love with all my heart. And I stuck through it sober, and I never forget them. And I try and do the next right thing and do things that I can to help from that situation. And one thing I tried to do, I tried to build a recovery house and a recovery clubhouse down in Parksburg. I put everything I had into it. I worked my hardest for it, trying to open it up to help people, to have meetings downstairs for everything, Al-Anon, Nar-Anon, AA, CA, whatever you could say. It didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. It was hard to get people to market to come in to the recovery house, but I considered that a dry run. That's not a loss for me. You always look at what you have. I'm grateful that I learned how the system works for that. I'm grateful I learned the guidelines that I need to be able to do it somewhere else. So now I have all the furniture, I have all the things from there that I can go open another property up in Northeast Philadelphia, or Philadelphia, Bristol, you name it, South Philly. I have my options now. And now I built my credit up where I'm able to go buy the house myself. That's the things that you can do and how you can come back on things. Now, I'm very grateful that I'm here. I love the Father here, and I love all the people here. And I'm happy when I'm able to give a chance to be able to come up here and speak and talk about what I need to talk about. And I want to explain to you that it does start young and it starts with a few choices. Just try and stay away from it because there's too many people dying. This isn't like it used to be when I got sober 4.5 years ago. The entire game has changed. You're playing Russian roulette with everything. Even if you think you're taking a little pill that's prescribed from a doctor, it could be coming from Mexico and have fentanyl in it. A lot of people died just from that itself. So that's what I really have for you guys today, and that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you, George. So the next speakers are the Karayanis family. Good morning, everyone. We're the Karayanis family. That's really tough to follow. Just want to introduce ourselves. I'm Bill, my wife Kiki. We raised 4 wonderful children, family of 6. And we heard about this program, and we reached out to Dimitri, and my wife had a lot of communication with Dimitri, and he offered us to share our story. So thank you, Dimitri. I'd also like to thank Father. We are a St. Luke's parish family. Our priest was not available when our youngest son, Michael, passed away, and Father presided. And I remember Father telling us that when Father Chris Contos endorsed the situation to Father, he said, I have a rough one for you. And thank you for your support and your strength. But our story is about Michael that Andrea will share, but I'd like to introduce the family. Andrea, our oldest daughter, and her husband, Michael Kiotis, Big Mike, the other Mike in the family. And then we have Elena with Adam Cheney. They've been together for a little while now. Adam was a friend of Michael's growing up through school, some of the sports, and Adam got together with Elena through Michael. We also have an oldest son, Nicholas. He and his wife reside in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is right across the border from Charlotte, North Carolina. They were not able to attend. But I just wanted to introduce ourselves and have Andrea share Michael's story.
Yeah, and this is just really, short. It's not as a lot of detail or anything, but just so you kind of get an idea of what we're trying to do because of this. So I'm just going to read this because I'm not the best speaker, and it makes me nervous to speak in front of people. But I just wanted to say that the last time that I got to hug my full of life, loving little brother that some of you might know was unfortunately on February 14th, this past February, when I hugged his lifeless body before closing him in the casket on his funeral. So I'll just read this because it's going to be easier than trying to share it. So I'll never forget that feeling. It was a knot in my throat, my heart pounding out of my chest, the taste of salty tears streaming down my face. My head was in a daze, and I'm thinking, there's no way this is real life. This is a horrible nightmare that we have to escape from and wake up from. No one ever thinks it's going to happen to them. I know Michael didn't expect this, and no one else did either. Michael was such a friendly, accepting, intelligent, passionate, loving person. I really enjoyed our conversations and all of our time spent together, all of our memories, which unfortunately, we won't. I guess that when I dream, sometimes he comes in my dreams, and now it's that's our new memories, which is very sad. But Michael's smile lit up the room, and he had positive energy that was really contagious. He made me feel like I was the most important person in the room, but at the same time, he made whoever he spoke with feel the same way, which is a gift. Most things came really naturally to my little brother. He was always on the move, and he had so much energy, many talents from growing up from childhood to young adulthood. So some of his talents were surfing. He loved the ocean and going to our beach house every summer. Snowboarding, hunting, fishing, playing so many different musical instruments, guitar, drums, harmonica, piano, and guitar. He's got a lot of talent. Michael was just someone who he didn't just try these things, basically he wanted to excel in them and completely master them. It was really impressive. He was a proud Greek American, like all of us, a passionate Zambekiko dancer, our hot pool, and he always wanted to show his Greek pride and Greek heritage. He was someone that took pride when he was younger, having perfect attendance in Sunday school and perfect altar boy attendance that he was a part of. He was always in the Christmas pageants. One year he was Joseph, and he was so excited about that. He was involved in Hope and Joy and Goya, and most recently in his life he became part of a church worship band in one of the recovery homes. So he was a straight A student. He graduated from Westchester University right near here with honors, and was going to Widener University for a doctorate of physical therapy. No matter what, like I said before, no matter what he put his mind to, he was always successful, and he was very intelligent. So this was kind of a downfall, something that I think made it more tough for him to get the help that he needed. So like many, Michael experimented for years, starting, I guess we don't know the exact age, but it was when he was, I don't know, I didn't really think to share the age, but so when he was younger, he started experimenting with just a little bit of alcohol here he tries a little bit of weed, and then to pills, and without sharing so many stories and background of it, it started to spiral out of control, like in the other stories where it would start with something that seemed harmless, and then it just grew, and the addiction started to take over. So he thought, like I said, he was really intelligent, so he thought that he could control this completely on his own, but it is a disease, and the disease kind of grew into this demon that took over his entire life. After he completed inpatient rehab, then he went to a recovery house, and he started to get his life back on track in the last year of his life. He was working 2 jobs. He was biking in the freezing cold because he got his license taken away as part of the punishment with some of the trouble he was in. And I remember there was one day at work, it was so cold that the clients in my group were calling out because they didn't want to walk from the car to the program with a walker. It was that cold, and he was biking to work. He was determined. He's starting a new page. He was now clean for a few weeks, and we thought, this is great. This is a good start to like a whole new beginning. So this was completely unexpected. Sorry, I know I said read and now I lost my spot. Then he moved, so he was in the recovery house and he moved into his own apartment. In the first week of living independently in this new apartment after leaving the recovery house, because he thought he could do this on his own and he didn't need to go to his sponsor and follow all the steps, he relapsed one more time. And this time it was different. He thought he bought one thing, and unfortunately what he got was all fentanyl and carfentanil. So this is an extremely harmful substance that the tiniest amount, I think it's like 3 grains of salt, can kill you. And you can't smell it, you can't see it, you have no idea that it's in something that you have. So he thought maybe just, the tiniest little slip up, just relapse one more time, get back on track. He probably couldn't sleep, and he just snorted it. He didn't inject it this time, so probably rationalized it. That's something that's common when you're this far in. You go back and forth, and that was it. That's all it took was this one slip, and it cost his entire life. So we were a close family of 6. And now we're down to 5, and it really has been the most heartbreaking and crippling experience. So I don't want any other family to go through this. So I'm hoping this can we want to help people. So he brought so much happiness into the world, and he put a smile on everyone's face, all while hiding this secret for years of his struggle with addiction. And I just wish we could have helped him more, and we want to prevent other families from this devastation. I was saying, addiction does not discriminate. He was a part of the church program, SMART, going to school, a dad that's a doctor, and it's not a picture that I think some people have, the typical addict. It's just wrong, and it doesn't discriminate like that and target certain areas or certain people. It could happen to anyone, so it's really important to learn. And to say no that one time, because that's all it can take. Thank you.
Just want to say a few other quick points here. Georgia had said, close-knit community, quiet. There is a stigma, and we do need to open up and discuss it and share it. And I can't tell you how many people have come out of the woodwork after this has happened to us. Well, I had a brother, or I have a son, or a daughter, or I have a cousin. In the community, at work, other friends. It's just rampant. And as you said, the game has changed. Andrea pointed out that in Michael's toxicology screen from his autopsy, there was no heroin. It was all fentanyl, carfentanil, and other fentanyl derivatives. So it has changed significantly. So with this sorrow and sadness and this horrific situation, we continue to live it. We want to do something positive in Michael's memory. And we are in the process of creating a charitable nonprofit foundation. And we're awaiting the government, state and federal approval for the various bodies. And the website is also being developed by Elena and Adam. They've done a tremendous amount so far. It's not really ready for release yet, but it's something that we're working on. We have a mission statement, and basically, W2W, it's Waves to Wellness, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to ending the devastation that addiction causes families by raising awareness of the disease, providing education for prevention, breaking the stigma that prevents thorough treatment, and offering scholarships and for addiction treatment and rehabilitation. And we have some information here. I don't know when it will be distributed. It's over here. But basically, some points about fentanyl. There is a major increase and uptick in prevalence of overdose deaths, largely because of fentanyl and the other derivatives. So we have that information, and also another fact sheet. Again, the opioid overdoses are significant, and Pennsylvania is actually in their top tier state of incidence. In the state itself, I think Delaware County, Kiki was ranked 14th. Philadelphia is number 1. And sadly to say, every day I go to work with a little bit, well, every day is not a great day. We have good days and bad days, very few great days. Hopefully that will soften over time. But I'm an anesthesiologist. I use fentanyl every day, medical purposes. And it's just heartbreaking that my son succumbed to that disease, to that agent. The thing is, what we use in the medical profession, in the OR, is pharmaceutical grade. You know what you're getting. What they're manufacturing in China or sending to Mexico, substrates that Mexico will produce, is being sent across the border, or it's being shipped from China in the mail for distribution. And you don't really know what you're getting. Morphine, Dilaudid, heroin, OxyContin is described in milligram doses. Fentanyl is microgram doses. 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. So we're dealing with a horrific, deadly agent. And people are dying from it, and they don't even know that it's in whatever they're taking. And it's not just mixed in with heroin, it could be mixed in with cocaine, it could be formatted into pill form with other opioids, or whatever you think you're taking, Xanax. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Is the lunch ready? 5 minutes? What's that? Sure, if you would. break? Sounds good? Spot would say something.
Again, thank you, Dimitri. I wanted to just say how thankful George Big Al? Go. Andrea and Bill and Kadian's family. So brave that you are able just to be so vulnerable. You exposed everything that we are all afraid to show. We're all wearing masks. We're all afraid. But thank you for being brave. Just so as you've all said, so maybe one of you can be spared. This is all because of all you and all of us, and just to be educated. But George, very grateful to you. I know you're grateful, but we're grateful to you that you're able to share that and be able to be the beautiful man that God intended you to be, and continue to grow in His glory, His grace. That's our prayer for you. And thank you for coming back again, George. This is your home. You spoke last year too so beautifully, but just your example speaks to us, and we're very grateful to you. Bill and Kiki, that was rough. And there's been other rough situations that we're all affected by in this room. 16-year-olds, 19, 21, 26, 32, 37, 48 young people. And I want you just to thank you for being open, Andrea. That was beautiful. And you are a great speaker because you shared your heart. So may Michael's memory be eternal, and all the other young men and women that we've lost in our communities, in the world. And it's so scary that we are in the middle of Philadelphia, number one. But may God grant him rest. And thank you again for sharing your story. And we look forward to being with you as you begin that nonprofit organization in his memory, but also in the work for others to be saved and for others to be remembered. Before we have lunch, let's go back to Big Al. He said, hugs, not drugs. So let's stand up. Let's hug someone next to us. Big hug. Hugs, not drugs. So as we are standing, we bless the food. And if I could have everyone under the age of 18 come forward, please. And they're going to lead us in the prayer. Okay. All together. Lucy. Lord Christ, our God, bless the food and drink of these servants and multiply throughout the world. And bless all those who spoke today and all those who heard and all those who are affected by all the passions of the world. And guide us and protect us and always lead us to your path. For your name is holy, always now and forever, unto the age of ages. Amen. Enjoy lunch. Thank you, everyone who donated, who brought lunch. 25 minutes lunch, Demetrius says, and then back to our program. God bless you all.
He did get taller. George, you did get taller. Oh, hi, camera. How did
So not on the back wall.
And then, I think I'm gonna try to get there. I don't want to gauge the crowd so their nose what each one's what's that? I always want to gauge the crowd. Like, just go like,
The problem is we can't do that.
because we don't have a lot of questions. Right.
People have asked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.